You are listening to the Taps and Teas Show, weekly conversations for people passionate about marketing, golf, and craft beer. Marty is the co-founder of Bad Rhino, an award-winning digital marketing agency helping golf and craft beer brands get real results in social media marketing. Here is your host, Marty McDonald.
Hi everybody, this is Marty McDonald, and welcome to another episode of Taps and Teas. Today we're going to talk about integrity in selling and what that means to me in everyday business, as well as how it can help you decide on a new marketing agency or something else in your business. Because I think a lot of these little things I'm going to talk about today just really apply. But obviously, since I own a marketing agency, we're going to talk about how it applies to what we do and how it can help you out. So the one thing that, whether I was a headhunter in a previous career or running this agency over the past 8 years, or working in affiliate and internet marketing way back when, always wanted to lead with or have a product or service that did what it said it was going to do. And in selling that, always wanted to lead with integrity. And as I mentioned in a couple of these other episodes here, a lot of things that have come about from that have been unintentional, right? So you're going into a potential relationship with a client and you want to obviously be honest and upfront about what you're doing and how you're going to go about it. And that's, you kind of hope that everybody has that intention, and you're trying to sell, you're trying to close, right? And sometimes it's just turned into multiple referrals and some other stuff. And I'll get into that a little bit further on in this episode. But what I want to talk to you about is those sort of things that come up in the conversation. And it doesn't matter whether you're in craft beer, you're in golf, or you own a small business or a mid-sized business, and you go into the whole crazy world of online marketing, whether it's social media, or Google AdWords, SEO, having a new website, whatever it is. Many people start to approach that with, they don't know what they don't know. And that's okay. It can be crazy. You know, you have small business owners throwing around like, well, we need an SEO plan, we need a PPC plan, and they understand what it might be, but they don't quite understand how it works. So at Bad Rhino, every time we've entered into that, you know, there's a little bit of educational process. Even if the client or customer is well versed in it, we want to make sure that we're going into this and sitting down and making sure that they understand how we're going to approach it and also what the expectations are. So the integrity part comes in when somebody comes back to you, a potential client, and says, we really love this. We love the idea. We love what you're talking about, but we want to get something with a guarantee. You know, we have another agency or somebody that's going to guarantee us sales. Well, stop right there. You know, if you have somebody that's going to guarantee sales, that's ridiculous. We can guarantee clicks. We can guarantee people are going to see your ad. The ads are targeted. We can't guarantee sales. You can almost guarantee leads to a certain degree, but you can't guarantee the sale. The sale is not owned by me or my agency. The sale is owned by that business. So we want to take a look at everything going in there. So if somebody's coming to you and saying, let me do your marketing and I'll guarantee X in terms of sales, just proceed cautiously. Now, a lot of people use that to pull you in at first, but then they back it up. But make sure you still proceed cautiously, because if somebody is promising you the sales part and doesn't know anything about your business and you're just entering in that relationship, that's a red flag, okay? What you want to be able to do is talk about the things that I, as owning a marketing agency, can guarantee. And that is, here's the level of service. Here's the types of the things that we're going to do. But we need to understand what your process is as well. How do you treat a lead? What's your sales funnel like? All these things. And this doesn't matter. This is, when I say sales funnel, that also means like if you have a rude hostess at your restaurant, you know, and people don't like going in there because the person's rude and you've never really noticed it or whatever. Just using a silly example there that impedes your sales. You want to make sure that you have all those things covered. So if we haven't even started with you, I can't promise you sales. I don't know how many sales you're currently doing. I don't even know if marketing will help you in that way. We have to uncover some of those things. So that's the first one. And you always want to be honest. You know, a lot of times I'll have somebody come to us and say, we want to make more online sales. You know, we're doing great. We get a lot of foot traffic. We have people coming in. We've built a great business over the last 4 or 5 years or 10 years or whatever the time frame is. But we want to sell more online. And I take one look at their website and I'm like, first things first, before you do any marketing, you need a new website. No one's going to buy from this. First off, it looks horrible or it's not conducive to online sales and e-commerce. And that's a huge thing in 2018 is that, you need something that not only converts and brings people there, but you also need stuff or something that is going to look good, that's going to be visually appealing to that person that's going there, because they have thousands, if not tens of thousands of options, depending on what they're going to buy. It's a crowded marketplace. So you always want to lead with integrity and say, you know what, before you spend all this money with us and do whatever it is we're going to do, let's start at the beginning. You need to invest in your website first. Let's take some of those dollars that you peeled off to hire an agency, but let's start off with the website. Because a lot of times people look at just like, well, if we just get more traffic or we just get more people here, that's going to help. And sometimes the problems lie a little bit deeper. We do an audit when we first start off with everybody. We also try and spend as much time as possible on the front end, just understanding, in the proposal stage, we have a couple of different levels before we get to a part where we say, okay, we're ready to start and here's where we're going. But that's just leading, make sure that you're leading with integrity, but also helping them out the best way. Because many times people read something and they're like, we should do this. We should start on Google AdWords, or we should start a social media campaign with paid ads. And everything's not right there. It's just, you have to be able to make sure that you can lead a potential client to something that'll be successful.
Hey, if you're enjoying what you're hearing on the show and want more, head on over to tapsandtees.info and get our free report with game-changing tips and strategies straight to your inbox. Just enter your info and stop being stuck with no marketing plan.
Another thing just in integrity is people will say, well, I have $1,000 to spend. Right, great, $1,000 a month to spend. Okay, let's see what we can do there. And what we like to do is show them, like, here's what $1,000 will get you. Here's what $4,000 will get you. Here's what $5,000 will get you, so on and so forth. The best possible. Let's say they have everything else is airtight. They have a website that'll work. They have a sales process that's going to close leads and all that. But the one thing is, when they say they want to go into something, they just want to start with a smallish budget. That's okay in some businesses, and there's certain things that you can make work on a smaller budget. But in reality is, once you enter into that and other companies might see it, what they do is they're going to advertise as well, and it becomes much more crowded. So what you want to have somebody do for you is make sure that they're leading with that integrity and saying, okay, $1,000, that's great. I mean, that's a good start, but you're not going to get as much as you think you're going to get for $1,000. $30 a day, really not going to cut it in your industry, because the cost per click is $60. So you're going to get one click every other day, and you're not going to be happy, and I'm not going to be happy, because you're not going to see the results. Now, that's an exaggeration a little bit in terms of that, but it's true. Like, you want to be able to talk and be honest about it. Too many times I have a client that comes to us that says, we hired this person or this agency, and they said, we can do that. Whatever the budget was, they were agreeable. They were just taking on the work. And, being a small business owner, at times, knowing that, you need to get the revenue in, completely understand that. But if you're not leading with integrity, then you're going to lose that client, or they're not going to be happy with your service. And then you're not going to be happy because you just spent 3 months trying to make something work that at the beginning of it, you knew wouldn't work. And I've had some odd conversations and some strange conversations where we've had potential new clients wanting to start with us, and we've had to say no. We'll just be like, no, you're not quite ready for us yet. And it's difficult because sometimes they're referrals from other people, and you want to be able to help somebody out inherently, just being a nice person. But this is business, and you don't want to see them waste their money. That's the big thing for me, is I don't want to see people waste their money on online marketing and social media marketing when they don't know what they're doing. So you have that conversation with them. You say, okay, your budget's $1,000. Okay, that's not going to work for you. What we can do is this and this, so that it could help you bring in some additional leads and sales this way. And then once you get in there, you can reinvest when those new sales come in to upgrade your marketing a little bit and take it as a stepped approach, rather than just trying to fire out and just take their money for the sake of taking their money. I mean, that's a bad business way to go about it, no matter how you slice it. So leading with integrity there is super important to have those conversations. And if you're sitting there going, well, Marty, how does this apply to my business? The thing is when somebody promises you the world, just question that. That should be your first thing, is like, wow, this is really going to be that easy. Or if they say, yeah, by tomorrow, you're going to have leads coming in, or you're going to have sales coming in. Be realistic. I mean, you don't go to the gym and expect to have abs in the next day. So treat it that way. And that's our big thing, is we want to have those conversations. And sometimes, like I said, they become a little difficult because, you're telling them what they don't want to hear, and they want to hire you too. So that makes it doubly crazy in your head, because you're like, all right, yeah, we could work with you and we could do some things, but you're not going to get the most bang for your buck. And that's what I mean by integrity in selling. Many times when we take this approach, and we take it every single time, not many times, but when we get to a certain point, I should say, then here the question is, this is great, but what would you suggest that we do? And sometimes we'll refer you to a partner and say, look, these people are really good at this. Let's fix these aspects of your marketing funnel first. And then once they're done, then we can start to work here. Or let's get your new website up, like I said before. Or, you know what, a better bet rather than social media might just be Google AdWords. And let's take what you're going to spend on social and start to build out an AdWords campaign, and then scale that, and then go back to social. So there's tons of different things that are built into it when you treat it honestly. And a lot of times, most agencies or most people that are selling you the services are lazy in the fact that they don't want to have that conversation. And our sales cycles definitely take a little bit longer because we do uncover some of that. We make sure that we're walking into this with both eyes open and understanding what you need and where we're coming from, and tie those two things together. So the last thing I'll talk about in this is, once we get to that point, you need to have an agency that's giving you the feedback and analytics, so that once you get in there and you start working, there could be something that you uncover that is no good. Like, we've had some times where everything on the front end looks perfect. The website looks good. We've seen some numbers. We've seen some traffic, and they're trying to move over from a different agency. Things weren't quite working the right way. And we'll uncover something where a salesperson might be not following up on the leads fast enough. Or we might find something that is buried in your website that's causing a shopping cart error that you never really noticed before. And if you're not looking out for those things, or you don't have an agency that's looking out for those things, then you can have some problems. When you do things with, craft beer brands and golf, many times what you'll find is, wow, the inconsistency of your posting, or maybe this agency bought, likes on a Facebook page, or maybe they did a few things that weren't so good on your ad account, and we'll uncover those. Sometimes you can't get into that until you're into it the first month or two, or first week or two rather. And you need to follow up with that. You need to then go back to your new client, and we'll say, look, these are some other things that we've encountered, and this is going to push some things back. It's not all just roses and sales and everything when you start, an online marketing campaign, social media or otherwise. You need to kind of take a look at it from a standpoint of, this is going to be a build, and this is going to take some time. And if you don't approach it that way, or somebody's trying to sell you as a silver bullet or a quick hit, you're going to be disappointed. And the one thing that I've always done, and we've all done it here, is just, speak the truth in that, and it's integrity in selling with your product and services. So I'll leave you with that. That's just a little soapbox type rant for today. I look forward to speaking with you on a new episode. We have some interviews coming up here as we get into Taps and Teas. I have some craft beer experts, I have some golf experts, and some marketing experts, and really looking forward to introducing these folks to you. And look forward to speaking with you and chatting with you at some events upcoming, which I'm really excited about. So until next time, I'll see you on Taps and Teas.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.